what we said the other night, I will tell you. Because we were sitting down and we were sitting together, working a bit, and somehow he started talking. I don't remember what, just it comes out like that sometimes. And Omkara got up and she say, I want to be free now. I want to be free now. Deliver me now. Even by cesarean, I don't mind. I feel, yeah? Like this I said to her, you hear, Omi? Yes. Okay. And then she came and then I said, okay, I love this when people come. I said, I don't see any trouble. Now then, let's have a look. And then we were sitting, then we were in the room like this. I said, okay, now you're on this carpet. No? You're on this carpet. All this carpet is your past, your idea, all of that. Okay? Your identity, all of this. Step off this carpet and leave all this behind. You are free, just like this. I guarantee you. No? Lakshmi is here also, she knows what we're talking. Like this. And then they all got on the carpet. And they start walking one. They're looking a bit, you know. I see them walk, okay, you know. So, okay, what happened then? What happened?
We just left and we forgot about everything.
They forgot about everything. Okay. And I said something. All your life, you've been waiting for something. One thing after another thing. You know. You've tasted so many things. So many things. All of them, you taste them as other. This other thing is always other or another. You're waiting. Okay? But God is not another. Truth. God is not another. Okay? So you hear this or not? Yes. God is not another. You've been waiting for another. But then he doesn't come, he don't show. Huh? What is not another? It's not 1 micromillimeter away from you. It's impossible. So how is this meeting going to happen? That voice never told you I'm separate from you. It does not even really acknowledge you. In the way that you acknowledge you are you. So what is not another? What takes absolutely no effort and also take no time? What could I possibly be speaking about? Because you ask, you see. Somebody got up and say, I want to be free now. Because only hear about freedom later. Why not now? I say, well, it's now. Of course it's now. Come into my realm. What is not another? Everyone is waiting for another chance, you know, maybe the next experience. What is not next? It has never been next. Not the next person, not the next moment, not the next relationship, not the next taste, not the next experience, not the next life. It's not next, it's never been next. It's not next to you, even. As long as you believe in next and another, you will not meet, you will not know. You just hope. You hope and you pray and you pursue, but you will not find. Closer than intimacy. Even not even close, because close is distance. Not two. Not two. Not even one. Is not to be found in any direction, not north or south or east or west, nor up or down, nor in or out, nor above nor under. What is none of these things? Dear Mooji, I am now I am. I have never been anything else. However, I still answer to my name, go to work, pay bills, pump gas into my car. I am witness to the coming and going of all those things. I am witness to the coming and going of everything I can perceive. However, I am stays through it all. It is the one thing that does not come and go. How many more bodies? How many more lives? How many more struggles? Does there have to be more? I am the answer to those questions. Beyond feeling, beyond description, beyond discernment, I am. There is nothing left to think or do. There is only what is arising in and out of consciousness for nobody. I am that which witnesses this as I disintegrate into the fire of pure knowingness. I am that fire. All is love, all is awareness, all is beauty. Love, Mat. Who speaks like that? Is it courage that it takes? Does the self need courage? All this is your turn. There's no tomorrow. These are just our daily myths. It is your turn. And like I say, so many uncountable beings have walked on this planet, have come and left their bodies here. They go to where they have to be. Now we are the living life now. Our turn is now. What are we? What are we? What are we going to discover? How will we use our time, our chance? Speculating? Waiting for Mr. or Miss Next? Drowning in Mr. Past, Miss Past? The mind has sold us a lie. It's called other. Waiting for other. Waiting for another. Waiting for next. Waiting. What is there in you that does not have to wait? Because it does not know separation. It knows no distance, knows no time. And your mental answers will not satisfy. They will just be mental answers. So to whom is addressed even this question that I am asking now? to this past season, I was asking this question, you see. What can you do with 1 minute? If you had 1 minute of life, what can you do? Who could you go to spend this 1 minute? Who would want you for 1 minute? Who would want you for 1 minute? What could you accomplish in 1 minute? I said then, half a minute or so. If you are a Usain Bolt or something like that, you can do something in maybe just under 10 seconds, yes. And what? It's also gone. What can you do in 1 second? What can you do in no time? What can be attained in no time? If you can even use the word attain, I don't know if we can say like that. It is just a pointer, no? To face yourself. Even trying to reach myself is a hoax, universally believed. Because we conceive of a self that is divided, that is separated. These concepts come. So then we purchase a life called time. And change. This is fine. They have their play. They are part of the dance of the great consciousness. But they come and go. Weakness in that which does not come and go. But I want to tell you today something, because somebody wrote and say, I am that one. I am the I am itself. Who perceive all these things, they come and go, but I remain, you see. But even this I am, which I call sometimes the lens of the Absolute, in deep sleep is not there. No weaknessing is there. But something is there to know this. Who is unaffected by the rotation of the states of waking or dreaming or deep sleep. Even to try and figure out how to guess what that is, you, the one, perceives your attempt, or something called you attempting to find what that is. All your efforts is only to reach you, who have efforts to reach yourself. But it is not easily accepted in the human form of consciousness. Nevertheless, it has to be said. Because it is not your mind that will grasp these things. Let it burn in your mind. Let it burn the mind itself, the psychological resisting energies. Ultimately, nothing is happening. Nothing to do or to change or to fix or heal or to become. Nothing to reach. But such simplicity is hard to be accepted. While we continue holding on to the notion of being a person, it will be like that. I have a few things left. I don't know if we can make this now. Dear Mooji, turning inward towards you help me to watch inside. Writing to you, I listen and look with you into what comes, and so many answers are immediate. Seeing how many words just burn, I am so deeply grateful for your presence. I need more and more just staying in this watchful silence you share with us. I am so touched by the flame of the inner yes and thank you so carefully point us to. There are this active opening to what is, which I feel is the flowering of consciousness. May this grace flower in my heart. Dear Mooji, thank you for these treasures of the open heart you are. Shanti Etienne. Turning inwardly toward you, help me to watch inside. Yes. Where is the location of that which perceives inside and outside? Where is the location of that one which perceives internal and external? Who causes such thoughts and such words to come as mind and mouth? And who is not touched by them? Writing to you, I listen and look with you into what comes, and so many answers are immediate. Seeing how many words just burn, I am so deeply grateful for your presence. I need more and more just staying in this watchful silence you share with us. What is that in whose presence even silence is perceived? Even silence is heard. That both the visible and the invisible are perceived. What is the status of that? Where can it be found? Its first breath, it's called I. Peace and joy and silence. These are its perfume. But this flower nobody has ever touched. I am so touched by the flame of this inner yes and thank you so carefully point us to. They are this active opening to what is, which I feel is the flowering of consciousness. May this grace flower inside my heart. So be it. Dear Mooji, thank you for these treasures of the open heart you are. Shanti Etienne. Okay, maybe see what this one now, last one maybe we can do what we have. Dear Mooji, I've been watching your satsang videos on YouTube for quite some time now. I cannot remember how it began, but I can honestly say that there is no price tag on how much your teachings helped me since then. I currently have no question for you. I just want to thank you and the divine grace that brought me to you through the beautiful work that your beautiful disciples and teams are doing around the world by making your videos available. The inquiry works. Bad feelings and sufferings or the mind are struck down and their strengths become weaker and weaker as they come. Even though there is more work to be done, the seed that you have planted is germinating with vibrancy. I have not witnessed seeing yet. It does not matter because the unexplained understanding settled in. Your words of wisdom guide me now. My only prayer is for grace to bless me to do my part now, as you said, do this when the body is warm, so that when we meet inwardly or one day in your presence, you will have very little to do to finish the job. You are my master, Mooji. your new disciple, Patrick K. Mensa from Woodbridge, Virginia. Very nice. Oh, I have 4 letters, something like that. How are the bladders holding up? Okay. Hello, Mooji. When I saw the advertisement of your Russian satsang in 0912, it felt like I must write to you. I want to ask about whether it is possible to participate in political discourses when seeking for the real, or is it a hindrance? By profession, I am a journalist. I live in Lithuania, and I am concerned about what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. If this question will be read in Russian satsang, I would like to say to all the Russian people that I try to understand what is happening in Russia with all my heart. I do not see Europe and America as better than Russia. There is a Russian ego, there is an American ego, just the egoic strategies are better. Yet, personally, I prefer to live in Europe. I prefer to live in Europe, not in European, not in Russian style system. So I support Ukraine. Yet I am not sure if I should talk about this publicly or keep silent. Isn't it that trying to help other people often become the most egoic behavior? Dear Mooji, if you will say, quit your journalism, get a simple job somewhere in the shop or as a cleaner, I am ready to obey you. I am willing to give everything that gives power. I am willing to give everything that gives power to my egoic mind. I don't think that's what you want to say. I am ready to obey you. I'm willing to give, must be to give up everything that gives power to my egoic mind, bowing to you, Jinta. So I do see Europe and America as better. I do not see Europe and America as better than Russia. There is a Russian ego, there's an American ego. Just the egoic strategies are better. In which one, I don't know. Yet, personally, I prefer to live in European, not in Russian style system. So I support Ukraine. Yet, I am not sure if I should talk about this publicly or keep silence. Isn't it that trying to help other people often become the most egoic behavior? Yes, it is often like that. If the help mostly of the spontaneous nature often somehow speaks to the moment more truly than structured effort sometimes. A lot of politics come in and other things creep in like this. And I would say rather than focusing energy on trying to change the world or to change people, then put that energy into self-discovery. Because in self-discovery you're discovering the truth that is within your own heart, and from there you are going to be a very good voice, a very good presence, even if you speak nothing at all. People are not aware of that because we venerate, the tongue and the mind. So for a while people are very much busy in their expression. But one who has discovered the truth, even just your presence, unspoken by verbally, unspeaking verbally, it carries some influence, you see. Something is happening. And you are not trying any strategy. You're moving by, some power is moving in this body. It's a very different one, you see. The mind, it becomes a tenant in this house. The landlord, nobody has seen. And it's very, very beautiful. It's very, very, very beautiful. You see, when you live and you are not planning the next moment, everything is unfolding. Then this human body becomes such a beautiful instrument. When you feel that everything it is designed for and more is being expressed in it. This is what I would sing. Dear Mooji, if you will say, quit your journalism, get a simple job where somewhere in the shop or as a cleaner, I'm ready to. Why did you outline these particular things? I am ready to obey you. I'm willing to give up everything that gives power to my. Yes, you don't have to do any of these things. I feel that my guidance is very, very simple thing. We're not putting any kind of condition on them. Oh, in order to follow me, you must leave your family, you must go and live in the bush, you must go and do these things. We don't have this. I don't see that that really works anyway. Because you put a condition that you must do something first before you can be yourself. We already have enough of that. So I say put self first. You can realize what you are, recognize what you are. There are no obstacles in reality, nothing at all, except your belief that there are such obstacles and that you have to do all these things before. We create these difficulties. They don't exist by themselves, you see. And don't think, okay, I think I should give up being this. And it's not up to you, forget about it. Just focus on what it means when I say stay as the self. If you understand this, then this is all you have to do. Then anything be so beautiful. Stay as the self. It may seem like, oh, but that's just an excuse to avoid you doing your responsibility. You don't know what your responsibility is. And you cannot fulfill it more beautifully than allowing the Supreme Self to move in this body. Dear Mooji, I'm 17 years old boy who lives in London, where most people find happiness in objects. I want to ask that I am confused about destiny. I have thoughts of making a difference in the world for the better by bringing peace and rightness back. But at the same time, I want to seek enlightenment and conquer the mind. But don't I have to be detached from the world to conquer the mind and enlightenment? I have read this quote saying, let go of your earthly attachment, enter the void, empty, and be one with the wind. Well, if you're one with the wind, you vanish, because that's not going to be around for very long. So now your question is how to do this. How to hear from you on your videos. Hope to hear from you on your video or any other communicating way. Thank you for reading. Jasudanand Kumar. Okay. I want to ask that I am confused about destiny. I have thoughts of making a difference in the world for the better by bringing peace and rightness back. But at the same time, I want to seek enlightenment and conquer the mind. None of these two you're engaged with yet. As yet, they are just some vision, some ideology, something like this. You are not engaged in anyone because you say, I have thoughts of making difference in the world. Difference in the world for the better by bringing. So you want to do this. And also, at the same time, I want to seek. Not you are seeking. I want to be able to do this. And conquer the mind. Of these two, which is the stronger thing? Or are they equal in weight, you see? That you want to, I have thoughts of making a difference in the world for the better by bringing peace and rightness back. That is secondary to the awakening. As a person, you cannot do it. As a person, you can accomplish very little. As ego, you can accomplish very little. You see? It comes from the same place, maybe. Someone who wants to see goodness in the world, you want to see beings happy. But you don't have the power to make that happen. First, disempower yourself as a person. And you'll be empowered by something else. And then you'll see what that something else wants. How it wants to behave in this body. That would be the best thing. You yourself say, you see, but don't I have to detach from the world to conquer the mind? And yes, you have to run away from it, but you must be detached from ambitions in it that are, sort of passionate ambitions to do things in the world. Then you will not be able to give yourself completely to the realization of the self. And yet, there's nothing wrong with being active in the world, having a family, getting married, doing these things, if they're written somehow for you, if they somehow suit your life. They don't stand necessarily in the way of awakening. But don't fix your mind on those things. Fix your mind on realizing the true. You see, you will still fulfill your earthly destiny, but you'll understand that there's no destiny for the real. So this is something. I've read this quote that says, let go of your earthly attachments, this is good, enter the void. Enter the void, again, it depends what you mean. But if you have an image of void, you see, then you'll be afraid to enter it, you see. But you are already the void, in a sense. Void meaning that you have no fixed address. You see, you have this sense of being, but where exactly is that being located? Nobody can find. Everywhere this body goes is there. Even where this body doesn't go, it is there. It is not bound or limited by the body. So I've read this quote saying, let go of your earthly attachment, enter the void, empty, and be one with the wind. Yes, something is one with the wind. Something can go with the wind, but it's not your essence. Your mind is like the wind. It needs space to move about. But your heart, yourself, is like space. Space does not move about because it is omnipresent. It's everywhere. It's infinite, limitless. You see, self is like this. In fact, it is more subtle than space because space is perceived by it. Yet nothing can perceive it. So hope to hear from you on your videos or any other communicating way. Dasadanand Kumar. Very good. What should be left is only the taste of presence, not thinking. When you're in satsang, it siphons out your thinking and leave pure presence. Get used to it, be familiar with the state of emptiness or the state of neutrality. When you search, where am I? What exactly am I here? And you're not able to be satisfied with anything that the mind presents you, you will see, but that's just an image, it cannot be me. I'm here looking at that. Can I be any object, either from this world or any other world? Would I not be the one who perceived the object? Can the one who perceived the object and the object be the same thing? Like this. And always you come back to this silence of being. And you'll find that somehow your form somehow move in a kind of synchronicity with the cosmic unfolding somehow. It's not something you can talk about so much. You will just discover. When an action is to be taken place, it seems like other forces come unexpectedly to join, to see it unfold. And by this you come to know you're in harmony with that. You should not have to strain and stress and worry and tire yourself out for mere activity. You see? And yet, there's a place for effort in life, Consciousness plays every part, every word in every language it has created in order to have such a vast way of expressing and experiencing itself. And yet a language runs out, but consciousness does not. What is your root perception as you move in life? Is that you know that you exist, spontaneously you know, I am, I exist. And that somehow you're perceiving, the functioning of perception is taking place. And the perceiving of perceiving is there. If you know this, much more you don't need to know. The rest, everything spins out of that. Everything is arising out of this. What is not other? Don't give this to your mind. What is not other? Never been other. Never been next. Never been apart. Never separate. Yeah.
Enjoy seeing you as another.
Yes. It says, I want to expose something. Something here enjoys seeing you as another.
I see the reality of it, but there is a habit.
I'm very happy for this honesty. Something enjoys perceiving you as another, no? Because that is the most natural thing for us. No? And this is why we don't see the God in each other, actually. Because we perceive other, and I don't blame, there's no blame. No? We have come here to solve, not to blame something. Because even after the realization of what I point to, what is not other, then the mind shows you everything is other, everything is other, everything is other. One time even your own body will be other to this, isn't it? When even your own body becomes other, who are you? You see? So I'm only here pushing this place because it is a rare discovery in the human kingdom for one to go beyond the surface of one's culture and one's, identity. So it's a rare question, not perceived anywhere else to be of value, except in the heart of satsang. Okay? And because of this, the question is asked, When you have solved this, you see, then something, it beautifies the sense of other, because it's seeing is the same one appearing as other, but it knows now the root of other is the one. Not the root of other is the other, but the root of other is the one. This is what, Then of course, then also the senses, it was meant to be like this in the life, because the senses are here to taste the sense of other. But when the understanding is that all this otherness arises out of this, which is not other, you see, and that deepens more and more. This understanding marinates in itself more and more. Not you doing anything by itself, just like you grow without effort. You're not every day tipping to grow. You'll grow without effort. And so true knowledge is also unfolding without effort. But you've opened the door. You've found a combination somehow. And the door's open to you. You've understood what it means. Other. So other, as in other, is not a fact. It is the fiction of the fact. The fact is, it is one. You don't have to tell anyone this. It doesn't work when you tell people mostly. Just you realize that. And then from this, in the dance of life, you may have to slap someone. How dare you? But inside your heart, there is no vindictiveness, because it is the one. It is difficult to explain, isn't it? And you know it. It's difficult but you know it. That somehow you can't explain, but it's still, nothing can step out of the one. It's like you're watching a big screen, and you see all kind of images on the screen, sometimes tidal waves and earthquakes and cities and rivers and people, but none of them can appear beyond the parameters of the screen. All of them. So in the same way, everything you perceive is on the screen of consciousness. This screen is different because it is a three-dimensional screen, in which you yourself are appearing on the screen also, you see? And at the same time, you are aware of your appearance on the screen of consciousness. Am I joking or not? Don't you know it? That somehow you are aware in real step and time with your actions in life. Something is here that is unmoving, in which the perceiving of life, including the sense of yourself journeying in it, is perceived against this unmoving place. This is what I'm speaking. But first you crack the code. Sometimes I've had to say to people like that, you have to stop being you. You have to start being me. Come with me. Finish with you. And when you stay with me and you somehow things, then I put you back to be you. And then you'll be fine. Because then you'll be you without you. It's a very good you. But you with you is so much trouble. Then you without you is really nice. You see? So it's the same kind of way of saying. And what Radha is saying is like something in me enjoys seeing you as you. And we do. We enjoy seeing the difference, because each one, although it is the same for me, but it's also different. You ever heard the people say in India, same but different, or different but same, I don't know. But it is like that we enjoy, just like every petal on this flower is unique, it's different. In each form, every expression in life is unique. And consciousness is enjoying its uniqueness in expression. It does not find it offensive. It does not mean, oh, there's duality. It is duality. Duality was created for the pleasure of consciousness, to enjoy its own diversity, and yet at the same time not forgetting its unicity. It's this wholeness that we cannot deny. Some people say, oh yes, but I'm only into non-duality. What is that, non-duality? Even the concept of non-duality takes its reference from duality. I mean, how can you speak about this thing? What would you know about non-duality if you were not dual? You see? So it's not about denying the world and denying the senses. They are there, but something must transcend their influence also. while still enjoying, and still you're still here. This is the beauty of it.
Please wash any arrogance or
Yes, if there's something to be washed out, always it is arrogance. Always this is the last stain to remove. As I said sometime, never think you're not arrogant. It's good to remember, yes, some arrogance. I can't know exactly where it is at the moment, but it is there, and it will show up pretty soon somehow. And please just put me in that washing machine and take out that arrogance or something. And just this attitude is so beautiful. You see? You without you. Yeah. What beauty. When it is said that we are one, even it can be said we are same also. But it doesn't mean that, everything should look exactly the same or something. As that's gross misunderstanding, it doesn't mean like that. With all this, in fact, however diverse this universe expresses, all of it boils down to the same DNA as consciousness. All of it is born of consciousness. Just like when you go to sleep, a vast world appears to you, where everything, every element keeps its own law. And water is wet and fluid. Light is bright, and darkness dark. The sun is warm. People are so varied. Different languages are there. Some languages appear in your dream that you know nothing about them. You never learned how to speak them. Everything is there. And yet when you wake up, you see all of it came out of dream material. How you cried, how you laughed, how you made friends and missed separating from them. All these things are there. But when you wake up, they are finished. You have children in your dream. You go out looking for food for them. And while you're out searching for food, you wake up. You don't think, oh my God, I leave all these children at home starving. Where would they be without me? I haven't brought any food from them. You cannot take food from the waking state back into your dream world. Everything is like that. Don't know anything at all. That is the greatest resting place. If something is to be learned, let God put it in your head. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, what happened is Lakshmi called. I spoke with her because it was her birthday, and she was out. She's standing at the door now. And she's very shy, so you can well look at her now. And, so she was talking, and she said, today, some thoughts came. Because first there was a lot of peace, said something like there was a lot of peace, there's a lot of silence. We were all enjoying this beautiful day. They went out, they enjoyed, and such a silence and joy. But then these thoughts came, and they started to come up in my mind. And I said, what did you do? She said, I left them on the carpet. That's what she thought. And it was so, I didn't have to say anything more like this. I said, very good. This is good. I leave everything on the carpet. I've stepped off that carpet. And what a beautiful thing, and when someone can say something, there's nothing to speak, nothing to argue. It's there. It's already answered its own prayers, So beautiful.